The Lighthouse Opera. Take it away.
Lighthouse Opera started in 2016. I was a singer, um, and I realized that in the city, you can go on, Carolyn, we need opportunities for folk to sing. A lot of our singers are recent graduates of the big conservatories. And, we went about establishing an opera company to perform standard operas in their original languages in diverse settings throughout the Bronx and beyond. We wanted to shine a light, that's the name of the company, on the range, depth, and breadth of talented and diverse classically trained singers in our area, so they could have an opportunity to sing all this rep. There was a discovery. I don't know if it's a secret or not, but sometimes even with a degree in performance and maybe even a master's degree, you don't get to sing through an opera from cover to cover that often. So that was one of my primary um, goals, is that one, we need to serve the Bronx and the area around the Bronx, New York City, and we need to sing complete operas, even the standard stuff. Next slide, please. And we hope to develop some new audiences in the process. Uh, as you spoke about venue, we are basically a church basement opera company. We started in the basement of the fellowship hall of Fordham Church, and venue is a challenge in New York. We were fortunate. I worked at the Fordham Church at the time, but we paid them as a venue. Uh, we contracted them to use the venue, and it worked out for a couple of years. And lo and behold, administration changed, things changed at the church, and we sought out other venues. We use Opera America also. This is a scene from our production La Selva Padrona, which we did down at Opera America, um, with Dan Klein as Umberto, Pamela Jones, you see here, and Vespone, the role of the mute, if you will, Fabrizio Doria. Uh, really well attended, came off very well. Another picture from Serva Padrona. A difficult little show, a lot of recit for days. We use a chamber orchestra of about 6 folks and harpsichord. More pictures from Serva. You can continue. Rigoletto. This is from 2018. We did this with piano. This is our church basement setting. We always provide an English translation. It is basically found space. This was a semi concert version. We called it Rigoletto in black and white. And you may see some familiar faces. There's our Dan Klein again. You may notice Richard Hobson. The tenor to your left is Gerardo Gaetano. And this is the first time we attempted to do 2 shows within 3 months. I learned a lot. So it's a learning curve trying to produce opera. It's a big thing, and there are a lot of moving pieces. So you can keep moving, Carolyn. Scene from Rigoletto. Another scene, Holly Flack, our soprano, Gilda with Gerardo. Continue. Um, and this is the same season, 2 months prior, we did Carlisle Floyd Susanna. And I chose Susanna because it was a vehicle for multiple singers to have something significant to do. We had a great cast of folks, as we are fortunate to have in New York. And we presented once again in the church at Fordham United Methodist. Most of these singers are still out there singing. Some have traveled abroad to sing. Some are becoming more and more well known, and that's what we are about. Opportunities to get on your feet, to get a chance to make choices. Continue, please. Next slide. One other thing about Susanna, this is a curtain call, and this is our board president, Harriet D. Foy, who has been unbelievably supportive. We met at Howard back in the day. We hadn't seen each other in many, many years, and there was a play at the Signature Theater. We saw each other. I said, I know you, you know me. Oh, we went to Howard. That's right, that's you. And she went along with this ride, and she's been a part of our mission in making it happen. And you can see Carmicha Peak in the background with Charles Carter,
Charles Carter.
bass. Our wonderful conductor and pianist for Susanna was Jason Worth. And you may know Harriet Foy from the theater and acting community. She's been a wonderful board president, along with the rest of the board members. Wilsonia Boyer, vice president, Ian Driver, secretary, and Patrick A. Bradford, um, treasurer. And we just recently added some staff, some W-2 employees, if you will.
Wow.
Angela Owens, public relations, and we have an advisory board member, Wilfredo Piero, Bronx native and supporter of Lighthouse. Next staff. So this is 2018. This is the first production we did, Don Giovanni. No one told me, this is your first production. Don't do Don Giovanni. No one told me that, right? Again, I was looking for vehicles which would give everybody an opportunity. Didn't have a lot of chorus. We had a wonderful chamber orchestra. We've used Ensemble Sepia for all of our orchestral stuff with Mel Greenwich and Dwayne James. This is in front. We have Brian Alvarado. Matter of fact, we have two Bronx natives in this picture. Omar Bowie in the suit singing Don Octavio, and Brian Alvarado on his knees singing Leporello. To the left, you have Martinez, Jeremy Griffin, Daniela Di Pasquale, and Jen Russo. This was a big deal. We started in 2016. We got our paperwork. And, I say we're going to be a company before we start singing. And in 2017, we mounted Don Giovanni. Next, please. We did 3 performances with chamber orchestra and harpsichord. My board president, every time I say harpsichord, she loses her mind a little bit. It's like, boo, why do we have to have a harpsichord? I said, there we go, work it out. Wayne Hughes, our wonderful Don Giovanni, Asian American, and this is the cast. You see Omar Bowie and Jen Russo. Jen Russo was the Donanna, a wonderful singer, as is Mr. Bowie as Don Octavio. Next. Now we have some clips of some rehearsals and some actual performances. To Carolyn's issue, you can go back for a second, Carolyn, go to the top. You may want to do it in a different order, even farther up the top.
No, I have that at the end, actually.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
We'll move it down then.
Okay.
To Carolyn's question about venue, it's a real challenge. We'll hear a little bit of a
I'm sorry, that was.
This is a rehearsal for Rigoletto. Again, we are using Opera America for rehearsal venue, even though we are going to perform uptown. We can continue. Another rehearsal.
Wait.
Okay, thank you. Again, rehearsing Susanna and a little bit of Rigoletto performance. And some photos from the end of Rigoletto. We are moving between 2 spaces with the Rigoletto. We decided we can do some performance in the Bronx, and we can do, because it was a semi-concert thing, we did one in Manhattan also. This is some publicity stuff from Susanna, rehearsal for Rigoletto. More photos from Susanna rehearsals, a scene from Susanna where Blitch gets it, audience members, which are as diverse as our casts, and we really excited about that. We have Susanna slapping little bat in Susanna. So to date, we've done 4 productions: Giovanni, Rigoletto, Susanna, La Serva, and now we're on our 5th. And Carolyn's going to share with you. Um, we have had to pivot, if you will. This is Charles Carter from our first production, Giovanni.
Actually, first, what is loaded is La Serva Padrona. So let me just go
Oh,
ahead and it should play it.
sure. A little of Serva.
And then for contrast, let's see how I can get to,
That's Pam Jones again.
yeah. Now just see if I, oh, okay, she just doesn't want, I'm trying to get to the Don Giovanni, I'm sorry. It was in here. Sorry.
You have to fast scroll forward. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to fix it, but let's just get maybe this last slide in. I'm sorry.
So we were scheduled to do Die Zauberflöte in German this 2020. As you know, COVID hit. But we have created, and we're working on now, a virtual performance. We have recorded 7 highlights, and we're having them worked on now. We'll be presenting this in late November for about 4 or 5 days on social media, through our website, and other online venues. We have some performers who want to come back with Lighthouse. We had an extensive audition process online. People submitted virtually. We had callbacks in real time via Zoom, um, and we had a robust process. And we're really happy with those singers who want to join us. And we look forward to sharing the virtual production, and we hope to do the full production in 21 of Flute and in late 21 of La Traviata.
Okay. So while I'm queuing
Sorry,
up the next
one
thing
thing.
for four,
Can I
well,
say one
I'm,
last thing? I can't
yes,
my conductor of late, Stephen Vasta, who's led us. Jason Worth has led us in the past, and our director, who's been with every production, John Tedeschi.
wonderful. I mean, this is just so amazing, and my heart is so full because of the creative work that everyone is doing. While I'm queuing up for Pam's presentation, and I hope that you all can stay with us. We're going to run over time. Hey, okay. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you in the pandemic, how are you coping in terms of continuing on? So, John, you have something in place. What about the other groups? If you can just briefly jump in. And then for those that are hanging in there, put your questions in the chat because as soon as Pamela Babb is done, we'll have Q&A. All right? Okay. Just so go ahead and let's talk about how you're coping in terms of the pandemic. Anybody?
It's had a severe effect on Opera Creole because the mayor of New Orleans has been very intense, and rightly so, in shutting things down and keeping people safe. New Orleans is a very international city, and in February we had the whole world here for Mardi Gras, so we really hit some high numbers very early on. So we had to cancel our Bayou Legend that we were doing this spring by William Grant Still, and so it's been quite a journey, yeah. And I also wanted to acknowledge, we're talking about rehearsal space. I wanted to honor the fact that our founding pianist was Dr. Wilfred Delphin, who's professor at Xavier. So Xavier University partnered with us for 9 years as our rehearsal space. So I wanted to give them that shout out.
So one of the questions I had was, in terms of learning technology, because it has been a challenge, you know, how has this pandemic shaped your view in terms of planning for the future? You know, we anticipate it should be over by the spring, but for any of you that have been following me, you know, I've been keeping files on singing and contagion because the coronavirus is airborne, it's aerosol. And one of the things that projects air out of your lungs is singing. So, how are you going to negotiate those things? Anyone?
Oh,
It,
we're negotiating by not getting together.
Mm-hmm.
And the singer is learning how to record. You know, if nothing comes out of this, the singer is now responsible for having the right equipment to figure it out. And you know, I'm impressed by some of the quality that people can do in their living room. But
amen.
until we can come together physically, safety is the key. But people are innovative, and singers are making it happen. And we're trying to do directorial stuff via Zoom.
Wow,
So yeah, I mean,
that's pretty awesome. I
I,
know it's been a learning curve for me, even though, you know, I've been working with technology for a while, but every time you add something new, like my students say, oh, you can do it on TikTok or oh, you can do it on WhatsApp, it's like, you know, no, I don't want to add anything. It's too crowded up here.
Uh,
So,
I think the
Pam,
younger singers,
Gregory's talking.
go ahead,
I'm
Gregory.
sorry, I was just saying, I think the younger singers are a lot better wired for the technology than those of us who have
yes,
been around a while. So we're the ones that are
Yeah,
having to catch up. The younger singers are already on top
they're
of it.
there. They
I mean,
are there.
this
Yes.
is part of their world. It's part of their reality, and we're the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are having to catch up.
Okay, well, Pam, did we